Welcome to the Pipe and Tobacco Talk podcast. It's episode 36. And Tim, it's time for the MBSDpipes.com Prop 69 warning.
Warning, this podcast will expose the listener to offensive, insensitive, off-putting, and otherwise socially unacceptable content. None of the state of California cause cancer to avoid injury. Sponsors of this podcast suggest you grow a pair.
That away, Tim.
There we
the
go.
Evelyn Wood version, the speed reading.
Evelyn Woodhead. The Evelyn Woodhead sped reading course.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, in an early preview of things that pissed Jim off, Friday, in shorts, 70 degrees. Yesterday, blizzard, 4 inches of snow. Today, 65, sunny, and I'm back in shorts. Yes, on the crazy hot scale, Colorado
It's up
doesn't
there in the
make it.
far right-hand corner.
Oh, yeah, it's off the hook.
Yeah.
I've never lived in a place with weather this dreadful. Diane and I went to the grocery store, and it was drizzling yesterday morning at 9:30. We come out of Costco and Walmart, 2 inches of snow on the car. In the next hour, we've got 4 inches total. And today, snow's gone. Like, seriously? What the hell was that? How do people live here now? I love Colorado. How high are you? I mean, you can leave the dispensary at some point and have a life. Ridiculous.
Saturday morning, Anthony Hopkins sent me, I don't know if you could see this. He said it's a picture of him, the horizon, and it says something to the effect of springtime in Colorado. It's not as bad as Jim says. And I'm looking at this picture and I'm thinking, dude, it's like it's not hell, but you can see it from there.
Yeah. Just horrid weather here.
Sorry, Anthony. But
yeah, Anthony,
I don't know. It just didn't really look all that appealing to me.
I love you, but you're wrong. The weather here is god awful. I just don't have those Jim Bridger moments, where I want to go up into the mountains and kill a bear with a toothpick and live off wild berries. I'm sorry. It's just not me at all. Yeah.
Kill a bear with a toothpick and live off of his dingleberries.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not doing that.
No.
By God.
No, I want to sit on the front porch with some sweet tea and a rocking chair and have it be nice.
Mm-hmm. You're going to do that. Coming up. Coming soon. June, July?
Yep, June, July. I will be moving someplace south. I can't live here anymore. So on to the next thing in my life. All right. Before we get to our esteemed guest, Harrison Reeder, next week we are scheduled to have Mark Dominguez from Lone Star Briars, Ian Fisher, which we have confirmed, Ian Fisher. And because Tim and I scheduled too far out, we've had to move too many guests, we're just going to call people and set it up, and we'll let you know when we post. But we do need to talk about the Pathfinder Pipes Serviceman giveaway, which you have made a beautiful pipe for. Got a beautiful pipe from Austin at Pathfinders.
Oh, man.
I've got the tobacco.
The package just keeps growing.
The gift package just keeps
growing.
Heading to you tomorrow. Because of the blizzard on Saturday, we didn't get any mail, and no mail went out, so it'll be heading to you on tomorrow. So,
well, do you want to have a look at what we've got so far?
Well, absolutely. Show us what.
All right. Let's start with some of the new things that came in.
Okay.
Stacy at Mahurin Bespoke Works sent 2 items: a drying tray.
Very nice.
And this pipe stand, leather pipe stand. It snaps together.
Very nice. Stacy does fantastic work. Absolutely love her leather work.
Really, really pristine, beautiful stuff.
Yep.
Austin sent a lighter. So there's a lighter with this package.
Oh, very nice. Is that the forever thing on it? Oh, no, just a screw off top. Okay, we're good.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very nice.
Very nice, though. It's got a little lanyard thing on it. You can hook that on your keychain or whatever.
Yeah.
Comes in a nice bag.
Excellent.
We've got, we showed it before, but I'll show it again. The the little pot that Austin made.
Just
Very nice.
I love the stem material on
Beautiful pipe. Yep. We have a stack Bing that I'm calling this an All-American. It's a nice blue die with a red, white, and blue stem on it. It's deep. That's a 2-inch deep, 19 millimeter bowl.
Gorgeous.
So there's that. And then I'm throwing in, just because these guys are they're dear to me. These vets. I'm going to throw in a calabash pipe, olive top calabash pipe with morta.
Ooh.
So you're going to have in this package, you're going to be 3 pipes.
Mm-hmm. Are we going to do 3 winners, or are we going to do 2 winners and somebody gets 2 pipes?
2 winners, somebody gets 2 pipes. The next person gets 1 pipe.
Okay.
And then let me see what else. Oh, then patches. The tobacco. I'm going to make up a couple of deer antler tampers. So there'll be 1 tamper to go with the 2 pipe package and 1 tamper to go with the 1 pipe package. So
nice.
It's really going to be great. We've got a flurry of nominations initially, and it kind of tailed off a little bit. I saw you shared one with me.
Yep.
The other day, and but folks that are watching this, get those nominations into us. We'd like to have a nice pool of people to draw from, mostly because we want to read these bios, so that everybody that watches the podcast can appreciate the service that these folks extended to this great country. And I think. I don't know. I can't think of anything else.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty good. And we're going to do that next week, I think?
That'll be next week. We'll draw it next week.
All right. Excellent. Excellent. Let's get to our guest, our mutual friend and longtime friend, Harrison Reeder. Harrison, welcome to the Pipe and Tobacco Talk podcast.
Evening, guys. How you guys doing?
Good.
We're having a blast. We're hanging out here with you tonight. So, as always, we ask hard-hitting Mike Wallace 60 Minutes type questions. How did you get started in pipe smoking, Harrison?
Well, to be fair, not a fun story to begin with. A couple of years ago, my son and my first wife both ended up in the hospital with COVID. And he ended up spending about 6 months there. And for the first 2 months or so, he was in a coma. I'd always smoked cigars since the time I was in the Marine Corps, but never really smoked a pipe. And when he finally came around, he said, I'm really looking forward to getting out of here, getting all these vents and tubes out of me, and I want to sit on the back porch and have a pipe with you. And I thought, well, fuck. If you know my son, you know that if he actually knew how to do anything that I didn't know how to do, I would never hear the end of this shit. So living here in Fort Wayne, we've got a wonderful old pipe store called Regal. They've been in business for well over 100 years. Went down there and met a couple really great guys. I bought cigars there a couple times, and that started it. Bought my very first pipe, which was a Peterson Sherlock Holmes. I still have it. Unfortunately, it's brought a few buddies along with it. My wife and now granddaughter managed to come in here and count my pipes all the time, which I consider to be sacrilegious to say the least. But that was the start of it. And I don't talk numbers, but a few pipes down the road after that, I can understand how folks can have hundreds of pipes in a collection, or just start making them like Tim did, so it'll be easier.
What was your first pipe, Harrison?
It was a Peterson Sherlock Holmes, the little slider, kind of a Rhodesian.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
very nice.
Just out of curiosity.
Well, you got into some Von Erck pipes too, yeah?
Well, yeah, that to be fair, yeah, that's the thing, is that the store that I bought these from, that I bought that first one from, Regal, they had a gentleman who had been a long time customer of theirs. He passed away, and when he did, he had, and this is not a joke, 700 pipes in his collection. the overwhelming majority of which had never been smoked. And so I literally knew less about pipes than I think I do about anything else at that time. And it just so happens that Tony, one of the managers there, broke out a Von Erck for me and said, you should take a look at this. So the second pipe I ever bought was a Von Erck. And his dad, who's in his 90s, said, the problem you're going to have now, Reader, is that you've bought one and you can't just own one Von Erck. So he was right. I now have 6. And I'm one away from my 7-day set. But there's always that. My wife, again, loves to come in and count these things for me. So and I also have, as I have tonight, I met this really unique asshole over in Ohio who, started out making pipes because, as bankers do, retire well and they, have all this free time and money on their fucking hands. And so felt the need to go into making pipes. And this was actually one of it was the second artesian pipe that I ever bought. And as you can tell, Tim's still smoking it. Still can't get a pipe cleaner through the fucker without taking the stem out because this was one of Tim's earlier pipes. So no one has to worry about that now. He's a fucking master now. But, Jim, I think you and I should get some of our, to get a new one.
Well, you'll have to ask the unique asshole. Maybe he'll give you one.
Hey, I spoke with him many times.
Well, I'm glad to know him.
Accepted that moniker as a term of endearment, but I guess I was wrong.
I'm not your ordinary, everyday, run-of-the-mill garden variety asshole, but unique asshole.
That's exactly right.
Thank you for joining us on Pricks and Tobacco, the podcast.
It's very hurtful. If I had feelings, I think they would have been injured by now. No, but
Harrison and I have a bit of a history of throwing bricks at one another.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
It's a good shot.
From time to time too.
When I was on the show briefly alone with Benjamin, our producer, he goes, I've met Harrison before. I said, yeah, he and your grandfather drank enough whiskey to float a battleship around at the Ohio show. And he goes, oh, that's Harrison. Yeah, that's Harrison.
Well, one of the important things is that if you're going to be Irish, we have a reputation to uphold. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's the fun of being Irish and not drinking? That's
just to be fair, I would have to honestly say, and I will defer to Tim's opinion on this, but I think there was a lot more whiskey drank at Muletown last year than we did at Columbus.
Oh, I think you're right. We did okay at Columbus, but that the Muletown thing always seems to be, I don't know, it's a bad influence on the liver.
Yeah,
because they had the brilliant idea to have a pipe show connected to a bar, for God's sake. I mean, come on, that's genius.
Yeah, we did part of an episode from the Muletown show where Tim just goes, that's it, I'm done. And he walks off. Okay, cool. There we go.
Well,
Tim's going to lay down. Yeah, we're good. Call it good.
I remember one a couple of years ago, at least half of it. I mean,
yeah,
not all of it, but half of it.
Yeah. So, who are some of your other favorite makers, other than
Actually, as much as I like to kid Tim, and I do because it's just fun. But I've got several of his pipes in different shapes that I really do and smoke often and enjoy. Even you may remember, Tim, the Morta horn that you made for me.
Yeah.
My son fell for that, and so that ended up being the first actual artesian pipe he's got, along with the very, very nice stand that you made for it. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, I remember you telling me you gave him that, and now that he's healthy, he's back in the pink, and he gave you a granddaughter.
He did indeed.
Can't get better than that.
By far, one of the best things he's ever done in his life, and to be quite fair, so just in case you guys thought it was just you, it isn't. But just keep himself relevant, because somewhere along the line, he actually heard me when I said, I'm kind of done with you now. I have everything I need from you. I have a granddaughter. They immediately got pregnant again, and now we have another child due in September.
All right.
All right.
Oh, good for you.
Wow.
Hey, all right.
didn't teach him what caused those things, but apparently he and his wife are working on it actively. So there you
They're
go.
figuring it out. They are figuring it out. So I've got a couple. I've got um, Jason is it Patrick
Jason Patrick.
Jason
Mhm.
Patrick, yeah.
Jason
Yeah.
Patrick. I have one of his that I got at the Chicago show, which I really really just absolutely love. It's a neat one. I've got one that I had from Rui Pipes. He's in Austria, and he made my granddaughter's pipe for her birth year. So my son and I are kind of Lord of the Rings geeks, have been since he was a kid when we went and watched all of them together. And so he made me a beautiful church warden that actually looks like a talon, a claw of a dragon. And he went in and we found Elvis letters for it. And so he wrote her name in Elvis and then put, 23 on it. And so that's absolutely one of my favorites. I still do have a couple of on Earth, like I said, like six. Um, you know, I've got a couple others that were made by some different folks, but those are honestly my honest to God favorites.
All right.
And that really pains me to say that Tim's in that group, but I'll work on it. It'll get better.
Well, you know.
Yeah, and it, the $20 bill is in the mail.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do.
He'll
Excellent.
do anything for $20.
And you and I do
Well,
share
almost
something.
anything.
And you and I do share something in common. We both have pipe stands from Richard at EP Pipes, the barrel
Oh,
stave.
absolutely. Yep, I do indeed, and that is without a doubt. So I've always been a fan of bourbon. I've come from Southern Kentucky, and where of course he still resides, and he made a beautiful. I've always been a lover of Willett pot still, and he made me a stand, which you guys can't see, I don't think, but he made me a stand with the using the pot still bottle as the base, as the center, and then two bourbon barrel staves for the bottom and the top rack. And it gets more attention and has more positive comments made about that than I think a single pipe on the darn thing. He did an amazing job with it. And actually, now to say it, actually, the first olive wood pipe that I ever had, I got from him. So, and it smokes really, really well. Just a neat guy. When we were at Muletown, Tim and I together, he was in the booth right next to us. And so we got to spend a lot of time with him. Just a down to earth guy who just really loves what he does.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for the record, Tim, he paid me $40. So, you'd have upped the ante a little bit.
Okay.
Remember,
Rich,
kids.
you prick. Richard, you prick. I'll get you.
Yeah. Remember, kids, we're not NPR. We're not doing this for free. We're doing it for fun, but certainly not for free.
Right.
Excellent.
Yeah. I just had a come back and forth with Rich today. He's making a 24 slot for me. He'll have it at the Ohio show. I need something I can hang on the wall because I don't have surface space, So he said,
he made
I
a
got
second
you.
one for me that's about 24 slots. It's about 24, and it's for the shelf, and the two ends are barrel staves as well, and then of course the rows are. And literally, the cabinets are already built in my den, so I sent him the measurements, and he custom cut it for me, slid right in and holds the rest of them. So yeah,
Nice.
he does really neat with that stuff.
He's
All
a good
right.
guy.
No. So let's talk about your pipe tobacco journey. What was when you came into pipe smoking, what was the first pipe tobacco you smoked? And why do you not smoke it anymore?
Well, actually, I still do smoke it. I did not jump into aromatics like a lot of folks do, for whatever reason. Like I said, I think Tony and his dad Dennis gave me some really good advice, and so I started out on some milder tobaccos. But I'd smoked cigars for years, and so I didn't really have a desire to have a cherry bomb or anything like that. So it was they call it harvest cut, but it's really Peter Stokerby's, I think 402, and still actually smoke that. But actually, to be fair, I've got, and it pains me to say this, but I made the horrible error of asking my wife to help me kind of organize and inventory my tobacco, mainly because
Oh,
I
Fool.
you
type like.
fool.
What's the matter with you?
I agree. I agree. I agree. This is where being lazy and not thinking in advance will get you into trouble because she types about 120 words a minute, uh, and if I really try hard, I get 120 words done in about a day and a half. So I asked her to help
Right.
me with it, and so when we got done, we got this beautiful spreadsheet, and there's a lot of tobacco in there from you, Jim. And so, we've got this wonderful spreadsheet of all the different tobaccos and who made them and what's the name of it and how much of it I have. And we got down to the end of it. And of course, the great thing about Excel is it'll be happy to total everything up for you. And, she said, you realize you have 27 pounds of tobacco, right? I'm like, well, I didn't until just now, and I really wish I didn't know that now either. But so that's been something that has haunted me ever since that
It's been
endeavor.
festering. The word's
Well,
festering.
I like that. I like that a lot, and that's a very accurate statement because, again, I allowed stupidity to get in the way. That's all there was to it.
And you're thinking, oh, God, another year without pipes?
Well, that's
Why are you
on
ordering
me.
more tobacco? You have 27 pounds. And you have to think on your feet, Harrison, and you say, well, yeah, that's a 6-month supply. I have to, I'm going to need to reload.
Well,
I'm just a tick over halfway there, dear.
Yeah.
exactly. I'm this close. And it's not, I've got it fairly well organized because my OCD will kick in pretty quickly on things like that. And, but speaking of the year, as Tim said, I also ride motorcycles. The Harley I've had since 2013 when it was new, and I can't even begin to count what bike this actually is. But I absolutely fell for a bike called a Triumph Tiger 900, and I drive about an hour each way to work. And I realize in Denver and places like that, that's like 6 miles, but for me, that's about 50 miles each way. And so, I thought, well, this is a really good answer. And so there are downsides to marrying a woman who is absolutely far smarter than you, and this is about to be one of those stories. So, I was pretty serious. So, I'd really like to buy this motorcycle. She goes, I can see that, but how bad do you really want it? I'm like, well, I know, I think I want it pretty bad. And she said, well, I'll tell you what, if you'll agree to no pipes or no tobacco for the next year, by all means, go ahead and get it because I've lived with you when you bought the Harley, and $20,000 worth of accessories later, you consider the bike done. So if you're going to buy another one, I'm sure there's going to be accessories down the road, and it's going to, it's not just going to be the cost of the bike. About 3 days later, I finally was able to come to the conclusion that I was just going to have to suck it up and take the deal. And so we started in this year. So come October 1, it's all bets are off. I'm gonna have to make up for lost time. So
Oh, you got to go to Vegas then. You got to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well, it sounds like an agreement then.
yeah.
It's a deal.
We'll
see you
it
there.
Was a fair agreement. It was a fair agreement, and I'm good with it. I think that'd be a great idea. Except if I take my wife to Vegas, who loves to gamble, I think I may actually lose more money on the table than on the pipe.
Why was
No,
the suggestion you bring her?
That would be a gamble I'd be willing to take. You'll have a lifetime of memories.
If Milltown proves anything, I may not have as many memories as you actually think. I mean, come on, Tim.
I'm the one that had the memories.
Yeah. Me, on the other hand,
You get home and your wife's like, "Why are there 2 handprints on your ass?" No clue.
sometimes it's best not to ask questions if you really don't want the answer.
Yeah.
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 That's all
And
I'm
you got a new tattoo. Yeah, she's a beaut. No idea where that came from, but
Harrison's wife,
So
she
you
was the
don't
only
be tired?
sober one. Sort of sober. She drove us back to the hotel.
Yeah.
And we get out of the car and we kind of like wander in and we get to the elevator. I look at Harris. I go, "Where's your wife?" She was like vapor trail. She was gone. She went to bed. And I said, "What floor or what floor, what room are you on? He goes, I don't know. the door's open on my floor. See ya.
And therein lies why the cold-hearted prick's called an asshole, in case, anyone want to know. I mean, he took the whole, you talk about veterans, Tim, but, the whole leave no man behind thing obviously was clearly lost on you that night.
Never leave a man behind, Tim.
All I saw was
too
the
heavy.
elevator door shut, and that was
it. I was thinking, you know what? I can't carry him, and as sure as hell I'm not going to drag him. You're on your own. You can ride this elevator all night for free.
That is fair, yeah. Dog.
Kentucky State Police found a man riding an elevator for 6.5 hours. I think I'm on this floor. I'm not sure.
Hey. He
Just
said,
thank God it wasn't
sir, are you okay?
Vegas.
I've had my ups and downs. What's that?
I'm just glad it wasn't Vegas, where there was, 27 floors or some shit for the hotel.
Oh, God, yeah. But then you got an excuse. There was only 3 floors in this place.
Oh, okay.
24 rooms.
What room are you in? I don't know. Okay, well, just
I don't know.
knock. Room 101. Hello, Mrs. Reader.
Room 102.
No. 102. Mrs. Reader. No.
Yeah. That could make it a long night.
Dave's not here.
Excellent.
But those pipe drills are a lot of fun. I mean, sincerely, it's never ceases to amaze me how many just amazing pipes that you'll find in places like that. No matter how much you look online or anything like that, just walking up and down those aisles, you just find some really neat pieces of art. And that's the cool thing about these is buying some of these artesian pipes. I mean, they really are pieces of art. They're just the medium is wood, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper to smoke one of these than to pull down a piece of art off the wall and roll it up. They really look at you like you've lost your fucking mind if you do that. Trust me.
Depends on what you roll in it.
That's fair. And in Colorado, it can be about anything you want, right, Jim?
No, absolutely. You can't hardly. Driving to Mass this morning. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, driving to Mass, and the Rastafarian in front of me is just a cave of smoke. It's like, dude, it's 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. Why do you need to be baked now? And of course he's driving 4 miles an hour. Cool.
He's probably coming back from the ayahuasca ceremony from the night before.
Yeah.
I think
to have a little something to take the edge off.
Yeah. I think he's probably stayed that way since he was 18, Jim. I wouldn't be so worried that it just started. I mean,
come on. It's 10 o'clock and commuting to work, 6 o'clock in the morning on the 70, man, contact high.
Still getting it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to wake and bake. I'm going to work.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No.
I don't envy you that. It's a nice place to visit. I don't think I'd want to live there.
No. We have a homeless encampment that's, it was in front of the office. That's always cool. Hey, do you want to buy a shopping cart? No, not really. Let me check my things to get list. No, shopping cart isn't on it. It's.
When you took all the fun out of it, Jim, he said, well, where's it from? And he just said, Target. No, I only take IGA carts. So, I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
It belongs to that guy that rolled up in that sleeping bag. He hasn't moved in 3 days. I think the cart's okay. You could take it. I saw a thing on the news or a video or something where there was a homeless encampment alongside this industrial building, and they had taken hoses on the roof and were spraying water down onto the homeless encampment, trying to get them to leave.
Oh, no, that was basically showers. Oh,
Yeah.
look, this city's so cool. They give us showers. No, please.
Yeah. And the sidewalks tip toward the building, so the excrement runs toward the building now. Nice.
Yep. Nice. One of the things we should talk about is that Harrison created his own blend, which I thought was really cool, and it's called Harrison Cellar. And it's one of Tim's favorites. It's one of my favorites. Absolutely love it. Bourbon topped. Well done, Harrison. Well done. So,
thank you.
Good stuff.
I have to admit, though, I made the mistake of most of us, have, if you just got into this even, you kind of heard the lore, the legend of McClellan tobacco. And as I said, I've got really great brick and mortar owners here nearby, and I go in there and they'll kind of introduce me to a different tobacco blend every now and then. And as just a pure dick move, he let me sample some McClellan Morton cellars, and I have to admit, when I went to Chicago last year, I ended up buying 2 tins of it, even though I promised myself I would never buy any of this, all the manufactured stuff, because it's just like chasing a dragon. You're just never gonna be able to find it when you want. So you did an amazing job, though. I have to admit, Jim. It's that blend is, and I've still got a tin of the Frog Morton, and I've many times just went back and forth, and especially after you give some time to age, because the Frog Morton I've got from early 2000s, so it's got 20 years on it. And the stuff you made last year is still in the ballpark. So really good stuff.
Excellent. Well, it was a fun collaboration. So well done on your choice of blends. And I think I made you a couple incarnations of it and finally got it right at the end. And
absolutely.
So excellent. So what else are you smoking? What else runs through Harrison Reeder's pipe?
Well, I have to tell you, there's of the Von Erks, I've got one of them is one of his mine pipes, and Lee's really, really big about Virginias, and so I've pretty much kept smoking Virginias in most of those, just because that's kind of what they're accustomed to. And Cornell and Deal, that Red Virginia that they do, the small.
Oh, the Carolina Red Flake?
Carolina Red Flake. I really, really like that stuff. Last year when I went to Chicago, I only had about 4 or 5 tins when I went there. And Jeremy was actually at a table for the local brick and mortar store that helped support, the Chicago Pipe Club. And they had, I think it was 10 tins at the fair market value they should have been at, not what people do after the run sold out. So I bought several of those tins and still have those, and so I'm a big fan of those. I find that I like a lot of English blends, which again isn't where a lot of folks start out at, but I like a lot of English blends, and I generally I've got probably 30 different tins of just stuff that I wanted to give a try, like 3 nuns and some other things like that. And so it's pretty eclectic, believe it or not. I don't find myself saying, well, I only smoke Virginia or I only smoke this. So
no, that's that. You see the wall behind me. What are you going to smoke today? Whatever I want. Huh?
Well, I don't have quite that pretty a wall, but I do have a very nice shelf that is all lined up.
Well,
and
you
all
got
the
that.
labels on
You
it.
got that fancy smoke eater in your den, right?
I do, yeah. You can just now you can see it. That's the Rabbit Air, the little blue light bar you see on the back up there. It's actually a very well done smoke eater. It's actually made for folks with allergies. It takes things down to 0.01 microns. It's got 5 filters built into it, and you can customize that though, so that set up to actually be a smoke eater. So it ends up being that 2 of the filters, 2 of the 5 end up being, charcoal and to take smoke out of the air. And my wife, who has a very, very strong nose, does not give me a bit of trouble. I mean, I smoke with her all winter in the den that I'm in right now, and have no concern from her whatsoever. It works really, really well. And after I get done, I'll just leave it on all night. The unit that's on the wall is meant to do about a 20 by 20 room. This is clearly not that. And so it extends the air in here about 7 times in an hour with on the low setting. So it does pretty well. Worth every penny of it.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent.
That's neat.
Like most guys, I've smoked in the garage many times. And so it's really nice not to have to do that anymore.
No, but
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, smoking outside in the when it's 4 below. Oh, Jim, you know what that's like.
Yeah, I do. I love it. Just,
You can't get enough of it.
No, taking Cooper out for
You're
his
a
walk.
terrible liar, Jim.
Yeah, thank you very much. I took Cooper for his walk yesterday afternoon, slushing through the snow. Boy, I'm really enjoying this bowl. Yuck.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Well,
Today was great.
I remember the conversations we had when you first moved there, Jim, and watching you trying to get, all your tobacco and your equipment and everything else back together and back up and running, which you did rather quickly. And you find that the pain of living in Colorado is enough to go through that again. So that's impressive.
Yeah, I can't live here. First off, elevation is very hard on pipe tobacco. Because it's dry in Colorado, you really have to watch your moisture levels. Everything seals up ridiculously. Like if I took one of the jars out of stuff that I have in my cellar and popped it open, it will literally explode out of the jar because at elevation. Yep. So, you have to really be cognizant of that. And oddly enough, when I first got here, tobacco tastes different at elevation. And I got an email from a friend of mine, Mike, who is a chemical engineer, and he says, "Okay, here's why this is this." Sent me the greatest email ever. I printed it out. It's I framed it. It's up on the wall where you can't see it in front of me here. But he went through. Okay, yeah, you're right, and here's why. Here are all the problems with elevations, and here's some things to correct it. I'm like, okay, thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. In fact, he was the one that said,
have you got that figured out now? For your tobacco, or?
Yeah, I do. One of the things that I know this sounds really kind of silly, but about once a week I have to go and open all the blender jars up just for a second to take some of the pressure off of them and then seal them back up so they don't explode out of the jars. So good times had by no one. So
man, I'd have never guessed that.
Yep. And
so what builds the pressure inside? Is it just because the tobacco's fermenting?
Yeah, because it's off gassing. Yeah, it's off gassing.
Okay, and it builds up
in the jars, and it just, you can actually see, like if I pulled one out of the closet right now, you could actually see where the top of the lid is a little bit humped, which you almost never see in a ball jar. So, I got to move back someplace where I'm not at 6,000 feet. No, and then the weather sucks, and I don't like weed. So,
it sounds like the dildo of consequences.
Yeah, and it was not lubed. Oh, honey, let's move to Colorado. It's going to be great. No. Oh God, please take it out. I'll leave.
I thought you were a gentleman.
You can't change my mind from that end, although you could persuade it a lot. And I've met some great people here in Colorado. I've met Rob from R. Dickey Pipes and Anthony from Castle Briars, and I absolutely love those guys. And, they have a fantastic pipe shop in Englewood, Colorado called Edwards Tobacco Shop, and it's absolutely fabulous. When you talk about a great selection of pipe tobacco, they're fantastic. But that's not enough to keep me here because, when you get up in the morning, what's the temperature? Oh, it's 26. It's May, for God's sakes. Why is it 26? That's not an acceptable temperature to keep me at. I'm going to go take the dog for a walk in January. I've got a parka on. I've got my baklava. Thermal boots.
Remember, there's been years like in Ohio where it's like Palm Sunday and there's snow on the ground. But then Easter Sunday, it's 70 degrees and sunny.
Yeah.
You get that last parting shot,
Yeah. And of course, all my buddies that are still in South Carolina and Florida are just absolutely razzing me unmercifully. Yeah, I was 80 today. What's it doing there? It's doing kiss my ass. My son-in-law.
It's doing fuck you, thank you very much.
Yeah. My son-in-law goes, yeah, I'm going to go fish in the pond out behind the house today. It's 70. Sends me a picture. He's caught a bass, and then, what are you doing, Jim? I'm setting the couch on fire for warmth.
Don't remind me, I forget, but it was your wife's idea to move out there, right? That was how it went.
No,
Oh, no.
no, we don't. No.
You'd like to say that.
No. No.
Harrison, aside from an avid pipe and tobacco collector, he's a troublemaker too.
Yeah. The first day we got here April 20th last year. And it was a little chilly.
A year, basically.
Yeah, basically. And that's all I can do. We got here, and I'm standing there getting ready to walk the dog. And when we left South Carolina on April 17th, it was like 82 degrees. It was perfect. We get here, it's a little chilly. It was like 55, 50 the night before. I open up the curtains on the hotel room on April 20th, and there's 2 inches of snow on the car. And I try to close them real quick, but I wasn't quick enough. And she looks out the window and she goes, "Oh, God, I hate it here." Well, we've been here, 10 hours. You got to give it a minute. No, I'm going to hate it. And then by the end of the week, I hated it too.
True to form. Boy, can I tell the future.
Yep. It's time to go. It is time to go. So.
Well, lesson learned.
Yeah,
You'll
exactly.
be much happier.
Yeah, I need to get back south of Mason-Dixon. That's just all there is to it. So that's what I've got a couple interviews next week, and we'll see where it goes. But I need to be in the South. I need to be where life is normal. I've been here a year. Don't know any of the neighbors. Not a one.
Really?
No.
They're probably all like you too. Don't take your coat off, honey. We ain't staying.
Yeah. How long have you guys been here? 364 days. I get paroled tomorrow.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Right.
I've got guys who have their anchor bracelets taken off quickly, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been paroled. So
run.
Your last day of work, they said, that shirt looks like you took it out of a suitcase. I did. I haven't unpacked my suitcases.
Yeah. Yep. So I'll be probably starting close to middle of May. I'll start packing up the pipe and tobacco room, and start putting the garage in order and getting all my tools put away, and getting ready to go. Just need a destination.
And they moved to Beverly.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if I happen to win the lottery in between now and then, I'm leaving immediately. Hey, what are you doing with all the furniture? Don't care. Burn it. It's yours. Keep it.
Leave it.
It's fine.
See ya.
I'm taking the pipes. I'm taking the tobacco. Everything else, I'm good. Leave it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so
it sounds like you got a couple good brick and mortar stores up there, though.
Well, there's a couple. There's one in Colorado Springs, and there's one in Inglewood, and both of them are pretty good. But I've only mentioned this every episode for 36 episodes. Colorado has a 62.5% excise tax on tobacco. So if you purchase a $10 tin,
that's aggressive.
The tin of tobacco costs you $16.25 plus Denver, Colorado state tax. You get a 62%. So I have cut back dramatically on ordering anything. We're moving, so I'm going to let my stock dwindle down to nothing, and so I'm ready to move. Because
so in other words, it is actually cheaper to buy weed in Colorado than tobacco. That's good.
Yeah, weed's only got a 12% tax on it.
That's funny. In our lifetime, and we're all about the same age, it went from, tobacco was acceptable and everyone did it. I mean, hell, your car came with ashtrays, front and back. No thought about it whatsoever. And now all of a sudden, you've got more tax on your tobacco than they do on their marijuana. That's it's a nice change of event.
My first 3 jobs, I could smoke at my desk. That was just how it was.
Yeah. Well, in the 80s, and into the 90s, in the banks,
Yeah.
you had an ashtray on your desk.
Hmm.
It was just considered to be
Courtesy.
A good host. Yeah.
No. Exactly. Look at how far we've come. It's like the joke someone sent me today. Veganism is just like communism. It's great if you don't like food.
Right. Yeah.
And it's remarkably accurate. Communists. Secondhand smoke will kill me. Good. You're complaining about it. It should. I'm hoping that it gets to you first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awful. Well, anyway,
we've got
enough about.
we've got a couple good ones here. We've got the one, like I said, in Fort Wayne that's been there for a long time, and then we've got Brian Barley down in Bloomington, Indiana. As a matter of fact, next month the Indiana Pike Club is going to meet down there in Bloomington. They did it up here in Fort Wayne where I live a few months back, and they did it outside of Indianapolis, and now they're going to do it down in Bloomington at the they call it the Briar and the Burley. I think it's been there for quite some time. It's a neat old store as well. So, and then our friends from was it Pikes, Pours, and Piles, I think is the title of their.
Justin and Nate.
Justin and Nate.
Justin and Nate. Yep, they both. They were both at the last one, so I imagine they'll both make it down to Bloomington.
All right. Excellent. All right. I wanted to Tim and I were having a conversation with our dear friend Terry Brewster, and his mom passed away on Friday night, and our deepest condolences, Terry. But he had an interesting story, because we're always talking about how gracious and wonderful the pipe community is, and he shared this with me, so I'm going to read it to you. The amazing thing, which is so strange, last night the funeral home director came by to pick up her body. The director, who was the one picking her up, saw that I was wearing a Briarworks t-shirt. He looked quizzically and asked, "Tobacco pipes?" And I answered yes. And he's a fellow pipe smoker. Told me to bring my pipe when I came to do paperwork next week, and we'll share a bowl and reflect. I thought that was kind of cool. There goes your saying about the pipe community being a wonderful group. Amen, Terry. Best community on the planet.
Yeah. You're taking a hard time and then kind of easing it over a little bit,
Yeah. And,
why not?
And keeping with our Prop 69 warning, our good friend Garrett Smokestacks sent us this jokes. A guy goes to the urologist and says, "Doc, I met a wonderful lady and I want to impress her in bed. Can you help?" Doc says, "Well, what did you have in mind?" Guy says, "Well, honestly, how far can we go?" Doc says, "Well, I think of it three ways. Do you want to fuck like a teenager, or like a divorce, or like life? Because nothing fucks as hard as life." Guy says, "Hey, my divorce almost killed me, so let's go teenager and work our way up." Doc says, "Good call. I've never met anyone who fucks you like life, even with medication." Attaboy, Garrett. Keeping it clean for the kids. Yeah, well done.
So there's these, the old man and the old lady go to the doctor. And the doctor says, "Well, we'll look at Martha first." So Martha goes into the examining room. And she's in there for a while. They direct her back out, set her down. They take Floyd in, and the doctor's talking to Floyd. He says, and Floyd's hard of hearing, and the doctor has to yell, "Hey, Floyd, how you feeling?" He says, "What? How you feeling?" "What?" 4 or 5 times. Finally, he says, "I'm okay." He says, "How's Martha?" Floyd asked the doctor. He goes, "Martha's not well." "What?" "Martha's not well." "What?" "Martha has acute angina." "Oh, well, that's why I married her."
Yeah. That's
There
a good
you
one.
go. Feel free to tell that one at work, you guys.
Yeah, that one's clean. We can do that one at work. All right. So we have some comments. So we got this comment from Kevin Behringer, which was on the Stacy episode, which was episode 33, but he just posted it a couple of days ago. So I thought I'd read this one off. Jim having a midlife crisis. Apparently life expectancy is now 160 years old. Wow.
Math hard. Math hard.
Kevin apparently thinks I'm 80. Thank you, Kevin.
That's I think that's more sad than it is funny, just to be fair.
Right. And
Yeah.
not only did he insult you, he made you work for it too. It's like,
Yeah, I had to do math. Math bad. Words hard.
I was a Marine. If I'm going to do that kind of math, I'm going to take my boots off. That's all there is to it. So.
Yeah.
I got to count
Exactly.
them all.
Yeah. Azalea Piper, another solid show, fellas. Great guest. Definitely need to look at him for my next pipe. Thanks. Have a great week. Yeah, our Dickie, Rob makes some fantastic pipes. And I'm telling you, that blowfish he's got, boy, that might end up moving its way to Parker. So if you're thinking about getting a pipe from our Dickie and you like that blowfish, you best get on it quick. Azalea Piper, another solid show, fellas. Great guest. Definitely need to look at him for my next pipe. Thanks and have a great week. Did I just read that? Did I read it twice? Kind of?
Yeah, you did.
Good. Thank you very much.
It was that good. It was that good.
Today's episode brought to you by Alzheimer's. Jim doesn't remember shit, and for God's sakes, don't put anything in front of him because he'll read everything.
Pause.
4 more years. Pause. Smokestacks, another great show. Thanks, guys. Blake Pipes. And we do need to talk. I need to have a conversation with Blake because I really want to have him on because he's a funny guy, and we need to get him on the show at some point. Another great podcast this week. Enjoyed hearing another man's journey in pipe making. Had a great morning listening today. And as for me coming on, I'm willing to entertain that, just not sure again what I can add.
Well, if you could add, we could laugh at that joke.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do math. You can help us out with some of our previous episode jokes. So that'll be good. I'm a little bit of a planner on things. So if it's about me and how I got into my hobby and life story and how dildos played a part in my success in life. Love you guys. And he's laughing. The Simple Georgian, Willie Lee. Totally awesome show. Loved it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yusuf Syed from South Africa. He's got a giveaway he's doing. So if you guys haven't been over to his channel, jump on that. Good evening. Awesome podcast. Appreciate your gents' time and having a great chat. Have a wonderful day. Greetings from South Africa. Bluebird Farm. Great interview. Rob seems like a really cool guy. Lukewarm regards. 1 out of the original 5. So there you go. Thank you, Bluebird. We're up to 5s of listeners now, so we appreciate you coming back. Thank you so much.
Lukewarm. Tepid regards.
Yeah. Blake Pipes commented again. First comment will make sense in a future episode of mine. Will be a virtual response to Flatcap on how to spread our hobby to others out there. Okay. Right. Also from Blake Pipes, he was just kind of on a roll, just, more random thoughts. I love Pipe and Tobacco Talk podcast. I want to see more, please. And then Smokestacks responded to him. Garrett responded and said, they are great. So thank you guys for boosting our ego.
That comment was like that, the one autocorrect. I like naked guys and I want to see some naked.
Yeah. I like guys and I want to see some naked. All right. Yeah, exactly. I do have, and I have no idea where I put them. I did get the pipe. So we have 2 after we do the Pathfinder Pipes giveaway. We got 2 more pipes. We got a Benny Joe's, an artisan pipe, and a Astley's bent billiard. So we will do 2 giveaways after that. We'll have a contest. They're not really giveaways. We make you work for it a little bit. Contest. You got to make us laugh. Yeah. Some kind of contest. Yeah. So we'll think of something.
Yeah.
But we did get 2 pipes and I had them here somewhere, but I'm.
The worst blind date. Worst blind date. That'd be a good contest.
Oh, that could be. Wow. Oh,
that could be scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could win.
I was only on one, and I'll share the story now. She looked at me and
end up it being your wife, does it, Jim? Because if it does,
no,
just as a friend, I'm going to recommend you not share it. But
no. This is pre Ring of Happiness. My buddy set me up and told this girl, and we sit down at dinner, and she's just not into it at all. I'm not her guy. And about halfway through dinner, she looks at me and she says, I was expecting you to be a lot more funny. Like, oh, okay. Oh, well, this is a first for me too. First time I've weighed less than a date I've gone out with. And it kind of went downhill from there.
Well, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
There's nothing not funny about that.
Yeah. 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 Hang on. We got to stop at the Quick Mart on the way home so I can buy a bag of flour. You know.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
That was we finished dinner and immediately took her home. Like, no, are we going to go out for drinks? I am, but you're not. You may if you'd like, but it won't be with me.
Well,
Not with me.
You know what? There's a causeway at the lake. Let's go have that drink. Let's go over the bridge at Chappaquiddick. We'll have that one.
Yeah, exactly. What would you like for dinner? A bale of hay, perhaps some oats?
Oh, man.
Oh dear, why the long face? You seem melancholy. You got a head like a melon and a face like a collie.
Just stomp your hoof 3 times if this is what you want for dinner. You know.
Hey, Wilbur.
I'm really glad you two are happily married, because otherwise, whew.
No. Don't want to do that at all.
Well, in your case, Jim, you made her stay there a year. Happily might be.
No, it's we get up with the same mantra every morning. God, I hate Colorado. It just like, we
hate
can't.
this place.
Oh, let me look at the weather app. Oh, cool. It's 12. Yay.
You're like Eeyore, you walk out the door and she thumbtacks your tail to your ass. Go to work. I'm going to work.
Go to work. Hang out with the homeless people today, Jim. Thanks. That'll be fun. Honey, I got you a new sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Oh. So, Tim, now, what's new in your collection this week? What did you do new? What did you make this week?
What did you do? All right, well, here's a couple things. This has been a week for putting metal on things. There's
I saw the post on that one.
There was sandblast. This is a reverse calabash.
Mm-hmm.
I won't pull that off there because I won't get it back on. But anyway, reverse calabash. When we were in Tennessee, Anthony Hopkins brought me a bunch of Eldridge rod that he wasn't going to use. He had duplicates of this stuff. And so I bought a bunch of them off of him, and this is one of them. It's just beautiful. It's kind of hard to tell. This is the video is sort of flat, but yeah, there's that. And then when this actually started out to be a commission pipe that didn't go so well, so I ended up putting a furl on the end of it. The pipe's fine. It just I cut away too much, and it wasn't going to work out. And this has got a real dark blue and black swirl.
Ooh.
And then it's a dark blue, very dark blue. It's actually black with a navy blue over top of it.
Oh.
But this one's got to be buffed out yet. And then I keep trying to make blowfish. And here's one here.
Mm-hmm.
So these things are really challenging to make. But this one needs to be buffed out yet. So, I'm just making pipes, and because it's kind of like what I do. I got a couple of commissions that I got to get cracking on, but I got to get these things out of my head first before I can work on those others.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Blowfish.
Sandblasting's really coming along, Tim. Looks really, really good.
Yeah, that the sandblasting. I still have to. Thank you, by the way, but I still have some work I have to do on my rig to get it to get a real sharp, deep blast. What I've got's not achieving that, so I've got to. Anthony Hopkins sent me a couple of recommendations I'm going to try out and see if I can get it to kind of go my way.
All right. Anything else new in the collection, Tim?
No, no, that's it.
All right. All right.
That's it from Fort Pitt.
All right. Well, I do want to talk about the NSPC, the folks that put on the Columbus, Ohio Pipe Show. And when you're a member of the NASPC, the North American Society of Pipes Collectors, they do put out a newsletter, which is absolutely a fantastic newsletter. And I love the articles in it and, how they talk about pipe tobacco and just everything in the pipe community. And I think it's a really fantastic thing. So if you're not a subscriber not a member and get the newsletter, I would highly recommend it. And this came on Friday in the mail, and I had it on my desk. And I got a call from a video chat that I was doing with Boomer Medic on Instagram, and he had asked for some blending help and advice and wanted some tips. And I have a blending spreadsheet that I'll send people that makes it easier for them to blend. And we talked about how to use it and how to put it together. And my wife, who kind of overheard the conversation, she came in and says, "Why don't you write a book about, pipe tobacco and blending?"
So
good idea.
That's a pretty damn good idea. So I started this morning before Mass. I started to kind of put an outline together, and I'm going to work on it. I peck away at it slowly but surely. I've got a little bit of free time at the moment, so I thought that was pretty cool. So
I think that'd be really cool.
And
in
I am
this day and age, you can publish yourself.
Yeah. And for me, it's just, something fun to do. And if I can help just one person start blending at home, because I think we all see the day coming where, just they outlaw tobacco, that you just can't buy it. California and New York are marching that way now. Colorado will follow suit shortly thereafter. And, I hate to see our hobby and our passion fade away into non-existence because of idiot governments. So I think I'm going to do that. So I did get one new pipe this week because
I'll write the forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need that.
Exactly. I'll have Tim write the forward. I did get one new pipe this week. My favorite crack dealer, Mitchell at MBSD Pipes, said, "Hey, I've got some new pipes. Do you want to take a look?" I'm like, "Sure." And he had this beautiful bent egg from Vaughn, or VAUEN, and I really liked it. And they said, "Okay, well, I'm going to send you some giveaway pipes. You can." And I bought this one, and I thought it was really cool, and it smokes great, and absolutely love it. And it's actually pre-fit for a 9mm filter, which is handy. So that was my one new pipe this week. So, and again, Mitchell, "Hey, Jim, here's a bunch of pictures of pipes I know you'll like." Oh, cool. Great. Thanks. But I did have a fantastic week of blending. So, Garrett, Smoke Snacks, he goes, "Have you ever made what are your favorite blenders? And have you ever made a blend out of just those?" And so I thought about it for a little bit, and I finished up another blend for Iron Mike, and this is Iron Mike's Barbary Coast, and it's Virginia Burley Perique with a touch of Latakia, and it is topped with cognac. And Mike will have that on Monday, and we'll find out what he has to say and see where that goes. So I thought that was really
cool.
something interesting. Like I said, I was working on it last week, and I can't stand the smell of brandy. I just don't like it, and not like cognac is all that far away from brandy, but it's different enough where I would actually be willing to put it on tobacco and set it on fire. So there you go. And then Eric from EMC Custom Comms had called me and he says, I want to get a blend called Crossing the Delaware. And I sent that to him and he got it yesterday. I haven't heard back from him yet. But he wanted something with Virginias and let's see what all came in that. So it's Virginias, Latakia, a little Burley, and Black Cavendish. And it is topped with Irish Redbreast whiskey and caramel. So,
oh wow, caramel! How'd you achieve that?
I have caramel flavoring. Oh,
okay.
You know, we play chemist every now and then. So
sure. Okay, I didn't know if maybe you had to reduce caramel in the liquor and do it that way or something. But
actually, I have caramel flavoring that I use. I've thought about buying just regular caramel and putting it in, but the sugar content on caramel is so high
right.
that I just think that would make it almost unsmokable.
Yeah.
So
yeah, pretty hot.
Yeah, it would be warm. So, and then my son was in helping me on Friday, and he was kind of giving me crap because I have a couple of cigar leaves that I've never used in a blend. I have Picaroon and I have Uganda and I have Sumatra Seco. Now, I did make a blend with Sumatra Seco in it once upon a time. Nobody liked it, so it's on the blend list under the cigar leaves. And okay, well, let me put something together. So I found this. So I went back out and I smoked Uganda and Picaroon, and both of them have kind of an earthy cocoa type taste to it. And I thought, okay, this is pretty good. And I married it up with a pair of Virginias and a little Kentucky dark fired, and I put some cognac on it, and it came out pretty well. I sent a sample of it to Jay Furman from Pipe and Tamper, and we'll see what Jay has to say about it, and we'll see if that one makes the list. So there you go.
Cool. Yeah. Did you see Jay he's a heck of a guy promoting the pipe community. He showed a video or a picture of that a blowfish that Anthony Hopkins made that Jay bought at the Chicago show, and he had like this big long write up that he did talking about Anthony and the pipe and that kind of thing. It's just he just does such a fabulous job of promoting and supporting everybody.
Oh,
hats off to Jay. Great
really,
guy.
Absolutely love Jay. I mean, you introduced me to Jay, 2 years ago, and he's been instrumental to me, and absolutely love him. And he got the Master of Pipes honor for a reason, because he is just a stalwart in the community, and absolutely love him to death. So, attaboy, Jay.
Yeah.
Well done. I got Brady Bishop, who I became friends with through Instagram, was coming through Denver a couple of weeks ago, and he said, well, I'll let you know when I get there and we'll meet up. And he called me on the day he was leaving and says, I'm sorry I didn't call you. I didn't meet up. And we did get a chance to meet up. And he says, but I want to talk to you. I want you to make a blend for me. And I said, okay, I can do that. That's kind of what I do. And he says, I made this Cavendish Virginia blend that I really, really like, and I want to see if you can duplicate it. And I said, okay, tell me what you put in it. And he told me what he put in it and said, okay, well, some of the things that you're using in it, let me go a different direction with it and put it together. So it's 4 different types of Cavendish and some red Virginia. And Kevin Foster from Foster Handmade, who we had on, had sent me a sample of Long Pond rum, which is absolutely a fantastic rum. It is not available in Colorado, but I can get it other places. So once I move, I will get more Long Pond rum. And it has an absolutely fantastic flavor and aroma to it. And I topped this blend with Long Pond rum and vanilla topping. And I'm kind of hoping this is exactly what he wanted, because it has a wonderful tin note. The Long Pond rum just has a great flavoring to it, and paired with the vanilla, it was absolutely fantastic. And then we'll get to the last blend that I made, which is Come and Take It. And for those of you that don't know where Come and Take It came from, sort of. So in the Texas's War of Independence with Mexico, the residents of Gonsalves had an 8-pound cannon that they had put on top of the church, and the Mexican army marched into town and said, "We want you to surrender your cannon." And the 75 residents of Gonsalves says, "Come and take it." And the Mexican army decided, maybe this isn't the best way. And when you talk about moments of history that kind of define the United States, I really think Texas's War of Independence in the 1830s has a seminal place in our history, because here are a ragtag army. And if anybody knows history, Mexico was the power in the Americas in the the early 1800s up until 1836, when the Texas said, "Yeah, you know what, you're leaving this part of North America, and Texas is going to be Texas." So Come and Take It was a slogan. I've been to the Alamo a couple of times. I absolutely love it. Davy Crockett, Travis, Bowie, all of these great Texans that fought. I think there were 113 of them, and they fought a Mexican contingent of 1,200. So, and obviously they didn't do well, but it was a symbol of Texas. And remember, the Alamo became the battle cry of Sam Houston's army. So I named a blend Come and Take It, because it has 5 of my favorite ingredients in it, or 6, 5. So my 3 favorite tobacco blenders are Tennessee, Kentucky Dark Fired, Perique, Latakia, and then I put Stove Virginia in it, which I absolutely love, and a Red Virginia that I absolutely love, and came up with Come and Take It. So it is a smoky, sweet, wonderful blend, and absolutely love it. And this will most definitely go on the blend list at some point here in the near future. So when I update the blend list.
Did you ever read the book? I think it was about Sam Houston and Santa Ana. I think Michener wrote it. Somebody in the Raven. It was about the Mexican-American War. It was pretty good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Santa Ana was a nut. He got his leg shot off, and every year after the war was over, they would have a parade, and they'd parade his leg up and down the street, and they'd exhume it and then rebury it, and he would cry, and it was really something.
Yeah, he was a monumental egotist, and if you've studied a little bit about Santa Ana, and I have a great fondness for, Sam Houston and what he did for Texas. He was an egomaniac. He considered him, the Napoleon of the Americas, and he was. He was an absolute raving egomaniac. Divided his forces and let Sam Houston catch him unaware, which thus Mexico.
He's on a Carmine unaware.
Yeah, potato wave. And
that pops into my head every once in a while. On a Carmine unaware, potato wave.
Yeah,
I'm standing there by myself chuckling.
I want to leave Bennigan's. It's just.
Here we go.
Yeah. So, but I do think the Texas's War of Independence, it was like I said, a seminal moment in U.S. history, and I thought I'd name Come and Take It after it. So,
yeah.
Brave men.
When you think about all the different parties who had claims on this, on the United States, what's now the United States.
Well,
French, the British, the Mexicans, the Spanish.
Yeah.
You name it.
Yeah. They were all here. So
Yeah.
There you go. History. Yep. Learning stuff. That's what we're here for, kids. A podcast
There was
about
a
pirates.
book. I know the Siege of Fort William Henry. They sort of did a little bit of a takeoff on that on The Last of the Mohicans, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The part where the Indians, the indigenous peoples, attacked the English leaving the fort
Mm-hmm.
in that valley, and that was sort of a scene out of the book as
Mhm.
well, the Siege of Fort William Henry. But the beginning of the book was sort of a genealogy of the people who were characters, pivotal people in those battles at that time for the fighting over the lakes, the Finger Lakes area
Mhm.
up in New York,
Mhm.
and they're families that had been on the continent for 300 years before that even happened. Europeans, you know,
There you
people
go.
been here a long time.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Ah. Well, we've covered pipes, we've covered tobacco, we've covered a little bit of history.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got to talk to Harrison about his pipes and his collection and his grossly understocked tobacco cabinet, 27 pounds. You're
I
not
know.
even
You should
trying.
be ashamed. You should be
It's-
ashamed.
I will
Yeah.
do better. I promise. I will do better.
Oh, I know you will.
Yeah.
I have no doubt.
Come October 1.
Back in the saddle October 1st, kids.
Yeah.
All right.
October
do have
1,
to
he's
tell
going
you,
to get on that
two-
motorcycle and drive to the closest brick and mortar
Yeah.
with a backpack full of pipes.
I actually did get 2 pipes during this year. When we were in Canada, my wife was kind enough. We went up for our anniversary. There's a company that's been up there since 1903 and 07, and it's called Glatter and Glatter. It was a brother and brother, and now it's a brother and son. The son's colleague. And so she got me that for our anniversary. And
Wow.
unfortunately, I had a really nice old called a Rosalaire Peterson. Had silver around it, just like the one you were doing there on both sides of the shank and the stem. Beautiful, beautiful pipe sitter. I kept it in my Jeep. And some hoodlums honestly broke into my Jeep and stole the pipe. Left a beautiful J roll that what is it? Dark Fire, I think it is the gentleman who makes the leather out of Florida, down around
Mhm.
Gainesville, I think it is. They left my roll, thank God. He had made a roll for me that I bought in Chicago. They didn't take the roll, they took the pipe, and that was it. So nothing else at all out of the car. Just broke into the car, left my door open in the middle of the rain, and took one of my favorite Petersons I've ever had. So I have got to get 2. But come October 1, yeah, gonna have to make up for lost time. That's all there is to it. And I
That's
appreciate
right.
you guys showing us all the wonderful pipes and stuff you've got every week, because nothing like being reminded that you can't buy shit for another 327 days, 32 seconds, and whatever else is left. But no, I
Hey, we
have
do
to
what we
say thank
can.
you guys. Absolutely.
We're here to help.
I have to say this. It's been a few years that I've been doing this, and truly, with the exception of someone who doesn't take good humor in, an artillery piece, and being an artilleryman, I think that was rather, creative on someone's part. But it really has been a wonderful hobby to get into. I've been fortunate enough to meet guys like you guys and others. I've been to several pipe shows now, and just absolutely always have a really good time. I mean, it's just a great group of folks, men and women, who who really enjoy working with wood or tobacco or whatever else, and it's been a really good journey. And to be fair, at a time when I really needed something like that. So I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, it was
man.
our pleasure.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. So next week, Mark Dominguez from Lone Star Briars and the giveaway. Or maybe we move Mark and we have Sarah or come on and do the Pathfinder giveaway, or
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
have Stacy.
Austin, I think, is we wanted to
Austin's
have
coming
Austin on for the.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll have Austin on for the show, and he can read or we can read them, or whatever. We'll figure
Yeah,
out.
we'll split them up. We'll share them, and then that way we can each kind of go through bios, and we'll read them just as they send them in.
All right, excellent. And we'll post this week about the send us your nominate someone to be a prize winner. So
that's right. And if you're a guest on the show today and you're listening and you want to write a bio and send it in to me, Harrison, you could qualify for a new pipe or pipes.
That is within the limits of my agreement with my wife. I can say that.
There you go. There you go.
I would never want you to go astray of that, my friend.
No.
Never.
No.
I'm here.
No.
I'm here to prop you
I
up in
really
the
do
saddle.
like living indoors. I do enjoy living indoors and eating. So I think it would be best I stay married because at my age, starting over again would be a clusterfuck.
Well, you can find a girl. They're out there.
Yeah.
Right, Jim?
No.
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 Like,
No.
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 No. See? One ring to rule them all. Nope.
Ooh.
Nope.
Good one, Jim. I like that.
Only one woman in the world for me.
Amen to that. We think we've all been blessed in that category.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. We'll be 44 years at it in September. 44 years.
Yeah, it's 30.
Damn.
34 for me and Diane come January. So, or December 31st, actually. So
that's awesome.
Crazy.
Been
Crazy
a hot
how
minute.
time flies.
Yeah. Yep. Excellent. Well, y'all have a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Pipe and Tobacco Talk, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
Good night, everybody.